I want to start by ourselves as human beings. We get born. When you are born, the first thing that they will see, that time that, is the heart beating? Is he breathing? Or is the child breathing? If the child is not breathing, they will wait a bit, try to sustain, then you are not going to be seen, you are thrown away. If the heart is not beating, they will say this is a stillborn baby. So God has given us this precious life, and you will see how this precious life is connected to the leadership, as I'm talking later. When you are born, there are three main things that you need. You need to breathe, you need this air. Today they say carbon stacks, what and what, you have to pay in order to have clean air. You need to drink and you need food. You may stay perhaps 2 or 3 days without drinking, but you need, because our bodies are more than 70% containing water. You need food. So in those olden days, these things were more or less like for free. Free food. You go in the bush, you kill an animal, you eat, nobody bothers you. You go and get fruits, whatever you eat, nobody bothers you. Water was all over, you take, you drink. So in actual fact, these things were for free, and you lived happily in that family. But as we are growing, we call it development, there's industrialization, and so on and so on. Then you start having food gets scarce, is for sale. Water is for sale. Even air now is for sale. Now, in order for you to get these things, you have to go and work. You have to find a job. Now, as we are growing what we call development, we have created the leadership to actually govern all these things. Now you get governed so that you cannot do anything that you feel like doing. By governing, actually you bring in what we call laws. Later on we call these institutions. Later on we have said, okay, by those people that are governing, so that the powers are not concentrated in them, let's divide. We have what we call the executive, which are kambali kawa president, republic president, we've got the judicial. Malawyers vaja kusite kwinangu, we have got the legislature. Vaja ma MPs and so on, wentisala kuti batipangire malamulo. And out of that we make a constitution. And then the leadership takes over. Now I will speak about the leadership that we need. So, and why the reason is that when these things are not there, you start complaining and pointing fingers to the government, pointing fingers to the leadership, because the leadership is the one that governs now the economy, that governs social sector, that governs everyone in the country according to the constitution. So it goes like that. If you are not going to have leadership that is good, leadership that has got quality, what is happening now, it will be the talk of the day. Let me explain much deeper. If the leadership has got no vision over the economy, they will not know the goods and services that need to be produced in that country wholly. They will not know what needs to be done in terms of supply of goods and services. They will not know clearly how they are going to govern the money services, the trade, and so on. They will not know the consumption of the goods and services. I will start from down. When you go to Mpulungu today, there is no filling station. The next filling station is 200 kilometers away. When you go to Chama today, there is no filling station. The filling station is another 250 kilometers away. How is that guy who is in Chama, who is an agriculture, going to produce with his tractor? That means the production goes up. So the visionless leadership does not know that the person in Chama needs a fuel tank. It does not know that the person in Mpulungu needs the fuel. That's what I say, visionless. Consumption of the goods and so on. Now go a bit up. No vision about the money market, about the money governance. You need to govern the trade that pushes the goods and services in terms of exchanging goods and services. Now, if you cannot manage that, you have got a leadership that cannot manage that, you will have things that we have. I'll just give one example. You will have the kwacha now, 22 kwacha chasing $1. From 7 or 8, when they picked it up, the PF government, now it's 22 kwacha. It shows, I'm showing you clearly, slowly but slowly, how this government needs to be removed, why we need the change, and we need to people who understand. It's only when you understand, when a doctor understands what the sickness is, that the doctor will give you proper medicine. Therefore, as with NAREP, we do understand the sickness of this country, and we will provide medicine for this country. I'll go further. Distribution of goods and services. Distribution of goods and services. The goods and services should reach every corner of Zambia. Who tells you that a guy who lives in Shangombo does not need a cake? He also wants to eat a cake. He wants to feel the sweetness of the cake. I talked about fuel. The person who is in Shangombo, who is in Mpulungu, he needs to refuel. He's got also a car. So the distribution of goods and services, they are not there. And because the distribution of goods and services, for example, to put a bridge, services to know and tell the people that you cannot build your houses in the valley. Because if you build your houses there, the water, when it rains so much, is going to fill you, you'll be drowned, you'll die. Though those services need to be provided by the leadership which has got a vision. Now, these things are not. What do? We say, okay, the DMMU should be on the road every time. You distribute food, you distribute water. You know, I don't want to insult, but only a senseless person would do such a thing. Because I know, when the water comes, I'll drown. So you don't put your people there. If you are senseless, you will continue putting your people there. Today, the technology is in such a way that it tells us where you can build houses and where you cannot build houses, where there is water and where there's no water, and so on and so on. It tells us even the fertility of our land. It tells us even where our wealth in terms of minerals and so on are found. But unless that leadership has got no vision and they don't know what they are doing, we will have certain problems. That's where these accusations, where these complaints, everyone, often I can go back. You have people who have never had 2 trousers before. Now he's got 10 trousers, but he still is complaining because the trend has been going up. Now if the trend is standstill because the government does not provide what is needed to be provided, there will be a complaint. And these complaints are very, very genuine. And these are the complaints that are leading to us to make sure that there should be a change of government. Now, as I said, if this government does not know what economy is, by the way, economy just means, it's a Greek word meaning the business that goes in a household, everything that takes over in the household. So in this case, everything that is happening in our country. So I want to go further before I switch on the lines. I want to go further and explain ourselves where we are and what we are going to do. We say we are going to make sure that our economy goes up by, first of all, realizing that the goods and services must be produced in this country, by Zambians. And they must be produced not only in Lusaka, not only in the Copper Belt, but in every district. This wealth is found in every district. And there are youth in every district. There are people in every district. There is water in every district. Why, literally, should I farm tobacco in Ilundazi and bring it for processing here? Why should I farm cotton in Choma and bring for processing here? Why? If Choma is the huge production, in Choma's huge production of cotton, it is even cheaper for me to make a production of processing of cotton right up there. Because I will save on transport, I will save on a lot of logistics. So we are saying that as we are mounting these productions and processing companies in each and every district, we will deliberately empower our young people in those districts to make sure that we create the first millionaires who are Zambians. An example, if one guy or two guys are going to be millionaire in Shangombo, they will invest in other areas. Shangombo will employ almost all of them, and people will flock even from other districts like Lusaka where there's congestion to go there for a job. I was watching a clip yesterday where somebody advertised for a job. I only laughed. I laughed with anger. I didn't laugh with that laughter. With anger, to say, how can you expose our youth like that? That job was advertised. There were more than, I don't know, 400 or 500 youth there, perhaps more, looking for that one job facility which was offered. Are we not ashamed of ourselves? When in actual fact, we can create jobs everywhere. So my explanation is simply what we are going to do. We are going to create jobs for every Zambian. We have all the materials. In order for us to have a product that we have visualized, they need to be human resource. They need to be capital in terms of the physical assets, whether it's vehicles, machinery, buildings, roads, and so on and so on. The third, they need to be money. We call these things the capacity for production. Now that's where the question is. And that's where what people call empowerment is. To say, I can't produce because I don't have money, I don't have equipment. And this is where we come in. If we are going to say we create 2,000 farmers along the Kafue River, we are going to say, okay, we will create the capacity in terms of developed technologies. We will have a center where people can borrow the equipment. Once they borrow the equipment, it's not for free. We will enter. You've borrowed the equipment, you have used perhaps this equipment for 1,000 hours. It's translated to $500 or $2,000. We keep it. Money, we are going to say, who has the money? The job of the banks is to lend money to those who have got good ideas so that those good ideas can make a profit, and that profit they share with the bank, and that's how banks survive. So we will take people who have got good visions, those farmers, we will take them to the bank to say, can you lend these people the money? We have procured market in Congo, in Angola, in all these countries. That market we have, it is a job of us, the government, to facilitate. So once you give this guy the money and the person produces, he will sell, the money will come, and these are the profits that are going to go. Now with that credibility, the bank will give the money to those people, as will remain guarantees that if those people don't pay, we will come in. But we will make sure we monitor the way those guys are producing to make sure that they do not default. Definitely, you may not have 100% success, but you are likely to have 80-90% success. That success, which is 90%, is going to cover even for those 20% or 10% that have not made it. This is how NAREP is going to take it up. Secondly, there is no any other way of us to creating wealth other than to making sure that our productivity that we do gives credibility in the borrowing of the government. There is no country in the world that is not borrowing. In fact, the most indebted country in the world today is America. America owes billions and billions, but they are able to pay. So the banks can run and do the payments. If you go now to certain economies like Europe, America, people live on borrowing. I'll come to this topic later. They live on borrowing. But you must be credible enough that you can pay. You don't default over 40 million, but you are busy taking money from your pocket, dishing out to people like that. So, I'm sorry to use this word. Kapenan vavemba gamba nchiwerewere. Utakwata mano. Takwaba. You take money per street, you pass so. Olo ofunta muntu sachita vaso. I'm shocked. I'm shocked at what this government is doing. I'm shocked at what these PF members are doing. I'm shocked at a leader who sits in parliament, a leader who is a minister, a leader should go outside there and dish monies and say this money has come from the president, the Republican president. What a shame. You are just disgracing our president. Our president, who is also my president, you are disgracing him to the last, to zero. But anyway, I am trying to justify why this government must go out, why NAREP should come in, because we have the plan for this country. And we are saying, and use our tag, is simple. We'll give a job to every Zambian. That job that we'll give is going to push the standards of living up. It will push the pocket of the government up. It will push everybody out. The circulation of the money is going to be there. We will produce inside. And once we produce inside, we will hold our kwacha. We will hold our kwacha to that rate. You can't hold this kwacha to that rate if you are not producing. It's impossible. So you do understand, we are saying we are going to create jobs for everybody. At this moment, I don't know whether I'm going already more than half or so. Others I can answer as we are going. I want to open the line to say people can call. The number to call is 0764 250 050. I will repeat, 0764 250 050. There was another question that was brought down up. I really don't understand why the president should stand up and give the money to people to say, this is my donation. Where does he get the money from? The president doesn't have the money. That's our money. The president is given enough money for his activities, not to take money from his pocket and be giving people. That is wrong. Now for you guys who they are dishing money to, eat that money. That money is yours, has been stolen from you. Eat it and go in the ballot box and choose us. Because I've just demonstrated that we have a visionless leadership. A leadership without integrity that allows people to do the corruption and so on and so on. A leadership, I think now the phones are coming in. Let me answer one. I think that's right. Good evening, sir or ma'am. Hello?
Yes, boss. Good evening. Could you welcome?
You are through to Movie TV. This is Unscripted.
You are through to Muvi TV. Good. Vivian Vivere, boss.
Sinamvera ati bwanji?
Vivian Vivere, boss.
Zikomo. Vanikuza kwati nikuuze ni mumvere, but mine vayuzinga kusogolo nisinza kambako. Nikuuze ni vanzanga, especially muli mu leadership, kuti mumvere vamene vichitika. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Can you get me? You are through to Unscripted Movie TV. When you are calling, make sure that your TV volume is turned to 0. Otherwise, we have a feedback and then we won't be able to communicate. Good evening. How are you, madam or sir?
Good evening, thank you. Hello?
Hello, you are through to Unscripted Movie TV.
Thank you. I can get it, the things that you've been, explaining about when you come into power at NAREP. Can you get me?
I can hear you clearly. I'm waiting for you to talk.
Thank you. Number one thing, I am disappointed with NAREP because this is one of it was my favorite party, but for some reason we just went quiet, like stopped showing up, giving us what to do, the next step, and so are we expecting NAREP to work now and do what it's supposed to do? Me personally, I loved this, but very much. I was in support of it, and I was hoping for better things to happen in our nation through this party. But for some reason, we don't understand. Me personally, I don't understand what happened and why. There was nothing was actually happening. So, are you giving us assurance that this time we can stand and say, okay, this party is now coming up and it's going to bring the people into the things that we're expecting Zambia to be? Sure, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I would have loved if you had given me your name and where you're calling from.
My name's Alex Kanyanta. I'm calling from Sorwezi.
Okay. Mr. Kanyanta, your number, I've just taken note of it. We'll call you. Mr. Kanyanta, I'm not so sure whether you know the transitions that have taken place. First of all, let me cut the line. So, Mr. Kanyanta, I'm not so sure whether you know the transitions. I am the new president who has been in office for slightly more than 1 year. I took over in November 2019 office, and ever since there's been lots of changes, and we are very vibrant. We are all over, even there, Mr. Kanyanta, we are coming. I can tell you to say just tomorrow, you will receive a call from our vibrant people. We are doing a great job, a very big job. And thank you very much for you loving this party. Keep on loving it. And we have taken over from where it is. my friend, Mr. Elias Chipimo, he did his job. He did a good job. I took over. And I can tell you what we are doing. We are destined for success, for victory. Thank you. Hello, you are through to Unscripted. This is the Muvi TV. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Good evening. I can hear you, sir. Just speak up. I can hear you clearly.
Yes.
Hello?
How can I join the party?
0950427883 is your number, sir. What is your name and where you are calling from?
I'm within the party.
Yes, in Lusaka. Sir, we will call you tomorrow and we will send wherever you are going to be, somebody is coming to talk to you, how you can join our party. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I really am so humbled to have all these phone calls and people wanting to join a vibrant, peaceful party, a party that does not insult, a party that does not fight. How are you, sir or ma'am? Welcome to Unscripted. How are you? Good evening.
Fine, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
That is Nyirenda.
Yes, exactly.
Nyirenda, nice to hear you. I'm following you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
And you sound professionally.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, in as much as I'm calling from Manyinga, my name is Pes Kayobo.
Yes, sir.
Northwestern Province.
Manyinga, Northwestern Province.
Yes, New Boma.
Thank you, sir. I know where that lies. Your name again, sir? Your name, sir?
Pes Kayobo.
Kayobo.
So, yes, sir.
I can hear you, sir. Keep on speaking.
So now, I'm saying now, in as much as you sound nice, sir, I will wait for you to talk about corruption and tribalism. What about how you will take it?
I can hear you.
Yes, I'm saying how you think about corruption and tribalism.
Yes, corruption and tribalism. Let me speak about it, sir. I will. Okay, sir. That was Mr. Kayobo from Mainga. And Mr. Kayobo will also call you and have more words with you. Mr. Kayobo, corruption and tribalism. I will start with tribalism. I think I am one of the most, I'm a lucky person because I grew up in a society where we didn't know who Nyirenda was, who Hazipolo was, who Msonda was, we were all friendly, all together. We did everything together. Kaunda made sure that we are tribalist people, and we should be tribalist people. Our way of fighting, there are small things, little things that Kaunda did. And those things can be done today. If you have a teacher from Lundazi, he's going to be posted to Mainga. If you've got a teacher from Mainga, he's going to be posted to Chama or to Mansa. And these young people, they're married all over. Today you can go in every house. You will not find a tribal that is unique. Is that not nice? And truly speaking, we should not be talking about tribal today. We are going to fight hard that anybody is going to be tribalistic or tribalism, exercise tribalism in our government, we will lock him. We will lock him. And I remember when some ministers from this government who stood on the podium to say you cannot vote for the Tonga. Why? Let the people vote for the person they want to. I want to give an example. When I went to Lundazi in my village myself, I stood up. I said, you are not going to vote for me because I'm a Tumbuk and I'm coming from this village. No, I don't then want your vote. Vote for me because you have educated me and you know I'm capable of doing the job. I don't want your favored vote because I come from Eastern Province. You vote for me. I don't want that vote. Throw it away. The vote must come to me because you believe I'm going to do the job. And therefore, our government will have zero tolerance for somebody who's going to stand on the podium and talk about tribalism. We will lock him up because he's dividing the nation. He's inciting people to fight. Inciting people to fight is a crime which must be punished. That we're going to do. Corruption, I let it come as second. Corruption comes from very far. The biggest corruption that we are having today in our leadership, as well as mostly in our civil service. There's huge corruption in civil service. And the corruption in the civil service is like a wave. Here comes again, bend again. People still with the professional touch. People still with the groups, with the tactics. We have so many people that are stealing day in, day out. They will not give you a service. I was lucky myself. I lived that time that I could get a service for free. Nowadays, you can't. So why? What are the reasons? Let's go down, down, down deep. The reasons are, one, the civil service is not properly enumerated. And even those little salaries that people are getting, they are not coming in time. Now, I'll put it like that. Wenda kunchito, usi ya mwana wako, sanaende kuskulu, palibe vakudya, wanyangu wadwala funa kwenda kuchipatala, vamuza ati mankwala niogula, ukaenda kunchito, what are you going to do? You will find ways of stealing. I'm not trying to justify corruption, no. There's corruption. He steals one, steals two, it becomes a system. Corruption that is in Zambia now in the civil service, there are systems. And money is going like that. Now comes the leadership. This leadership we have, they are 5 years. He knows in 5 years' time, I must build mansions, I must build lodges, I must build what and what. So they're still big to go and build. And everybody's seeing. I work day and night. I sleep sometimes only 3 hours in a night, 2 hours, sometimes not at all. I go in the office, but I don't have the money that I can build a house in 2 months' time, a mansion all over. Where does the minister get that money from? Is the president blind to see that that person is building a house within 2 days of him becoming a minister? He was washing cars before he entered politics. Today he has got a vehicle. And you sit like that. That in our government, we are going to make sure that you are questioned. When you enter, we say, oh, Bwana, you have entered. What is it that you are doing that is giving that? If not, we will make sure that person is punished before the law looks at him. From the party, from us, from the leadership. That's what we are going to do. Going further, really, going further. Today, every minister who is the minister of mines, he wants to have a mine. Who is the minister of broadcasting and information? You wanted to have TV stations and radio stations. In whichever sector, you are minister of tourism, you want to have lodges and whatever. I mean, my president, who you are sitting there in State House now, you are listening to me. Are you blind? Can you not fire those people? Can you not discipline them? In our government, if you are a minister of mines, you acquire mines during the time that you have become a minister, who will arrest you and no bail. If you are in tourism, you start making lodges, you start doing all these things to woo the people into you, who will arrest you. Unless you declare before you go to say, ine munifakapo hapa maona ndinavo kudala hivi. We will take note of it. It's deliberate. This is what I said. Everything starts with leadership, ends with leadership. What is happening in Zambia, everybody is seeing it. And you go, Lelo, I saw somebody, I thought a minister who is a kawala. What is wrong with us people? What's wrong with us? Somebody is stealing your medicine. Somebody is stealing your trees. Somebody is stealing your agricultural services. And you go and you kumutotera na kumfaka pamwamba. Get rid of this leadership. Put the proper leadership. That's the corruption. We are going to fight it, zero tolerance. Once you are being visited, you will be locked in, you will be coming from the prison to go and attend the court services until you are declared free, so that you do not tamper with the exhibits. Good evening. You are through to Unscripted. That one is gone. Good evening. You are through to Unscripted. Bwino na yeah. Nizapunzira chivemba manje manje. Na tuomba. Okay, sikomo. Kamwala South zikomo.
Yeah, I'm calling within Ufaka.
Zikomo. Atuandani?
Yeah. Yo, yai. Mau ya nzeka. Kintu kimozi tena kondoela. Hapo pe mwenza mwakamba pali tribalism. Hito chintu tatuvutani maningi. Halo?
Nimvesesa.
Hito chintu tatuvutifa maningi. Ine uno ni mabuela chabe, but mimi nipezeka kuna kwenye die kwatu.
Zikomo.
Manje kuno mukalangana lokuma MP zileva vota. Ngati sunapatwa muno mnakonde. Sunga nkhale pa mupando. But ukaona, no in development kutoka chei unakonde pena halila. And it's a very good with border, you know.
Zikomo.
Shuwa tanti zeni, neno natamene temoze mwakamba kuti president aenda swakila ndirama hapa sabantu mstriti. Is he going to manage? Halo?
Nimvera.
Wazakwa ni sakuzito sandalama watu pasani mastriti. How many are we?
18 million.
Ndiye kimozi zetlenge sana wabafana manje wakawala na wachoke mstriti wapo wapea machabe wapasa na zimalanji phone ka zimachani kilipena shisto yai.
Zikomo.
You can call me anytime.
At Zina Wanda?
Give me Adon Sinde.
Adam?
Adon, AOTN.
Okay. Zikom. Zikom tizakutumirani. Tizakutumirani. Tizakumana mkalbo bwerera. Zamena makamba hapo izo nzazoona. First tribalism. It should not be. Tribalism, it should not be. Then secondly, ni chiteichi. Ivo vamene shuwa vacho sandarama kupasa vantu. Nishi vana vangono. Nao vamene vakula. Vamene muwapunzisa ni chani. Nikufonsani mwa president batu. Va Republican president. Mukani yanke. Osani uza chabati ife tulavomba vambi vale tarika. Ivo vinani kalipisa mpaka manje I'm asking for an apology because I'm one of your people. This thing that you have started, the PF, of giving money on the street, stop it. It's bad habit. It shouldn't be. Sumunga sunge chalo so nikis. Chioneka kuti vakanga. Even vote, simu zaitenga. Kulibe voti. Good evening.
Evening, thank you, His Excellency.
Thank you, sir. I'm humbled.
Yes. I'm Tonch from calling you from
Ndora. Yes, sir.
Yes, I want to contribute here.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. That is Vice President Wesovar and today they were in Parliament. Hello, sir.
Nimvera kambani. Nimve sesa.
But if you cause about census, we are in the Tabadi Digital voter. Body 8 million, and then when I turn that, Bagasta target 9 million. Number 40, I said to capture 7 million. Number. Chani, the phone you check going, what much analyze, but if you are in the parliament.
In Kani. Yeah.
Therefore, we should have NAREP party to
Zikom. Yes, Zin again?
Don't
Chifumbe. Chifumbe. Zakutumirani phone immediately. Zikom maningi. First of all, this issue of saying they had projected 9 million registered voters. Then if my presidency va ma parties vanati takutipereka ku conference mumolongoshi na tikuza kuti they will manage to do all the 9 million. We know they were telling us lies. They said they will manage. After that, I made NAREP made a press conference to just retaliate. We saw when they started what is the motive? The motive, there is a motive for them not to capture 9 million. What is that motive? I think the motive is not good. It's not good at all. Whilst I'm speaking about ECZ not making it, ECZ not making it, there is a problem. I want to speak about something else now, about ECZ and eligibility. These guys, these people, I should say, they registered about 6.8 million. That means we have got 2.2 million whose rights have been denied, which is against the Constitution. Surely, the prisons have got a few tens of thousands. I don't know whether is it 5,000 or 10,000. You give priority to the prisoners who are convicted. than to the 2.2 million who are free and they want to exercise their rights. What type of leadership is that? Ask yourselves. If really the PF leadership has got a conscience, they go to bed, they sleep, they wake up, they sleep, then I question my God. I question my God and what is happening in this country. But believe you me, that conscience that you have is going to overtake you. There are two things. There's only one thing that lasts for good in this world. It is only the word of God that will last. Everything else finishes. It goes. Now, I want to come to ECZ. The boss of ECZ, the chairman of ECZ, who has been selected by the president of Zambia, the Republican president of Zambia, is a very highly learned lawyer, judge. He's a judge of the highest court in our country. He's a judge who knows everything pertaining to our constitution, especially in the place where he's been put. Now, where's my question? My question is that if I'm going to go there, this man, he has already put forward the requirements for me to stand as a president. If I don't meet those requirements, I'll be turned down. They will say, bwana, muribe registration card, sumuga stand. Bwana, muribe my paper, sumuga standing. I want to question that. Now my question is this. If the judge, who is the topmost executive in ECZ, what is he going to tell us about the eligibility of President Lungu standing in the next election? About the constitution. He should be the one to tell us we shouldn't go anywhere. That judge is supposed to instruct his people, his CEO, to say, look, this, according to the constitution, these are the regulations. So we leave it to them. We leave to ECZ if they are going to do the right job when the 14th of May comes or not. Me, I'm quiet. I'm just looking. I want to see the integrity of the topmost man in the ECZ. It will start from there. If people are allowed whose eligibility is questionable in the constitution and are allowed, then we know already where we are going with these elections. I will leave it there. Good evening, sir.
Hello?
Hello. Good evening, madam. I love that. I love youth. Kumwansa bombo kwesuko. Yebo. Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Vayuthi nani ishina? Esnat. Esnat. Mwansa Wombwe is one of our favorite place. We are very strong in Mwansa Wombwe. By Esnat, tizamtumirani phone within tomorrow. You will receive a phone call from us. Thank you very much. Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you.
Thank you, sir.
Where is that one?
This is the Unscripted Movie TV, and you are speaking to NAREP President Stephen Nyirenda.
Okay. Thank you very much. I want just to know. You are telling us that you are different with PF, which is there, the only part which is there in the moment. Are you saying you're the truth or you're saying you're lying? Because we know this is what people was also saying. Immediately you also join to become a president. Are you going to be the same like Edgar Palungu or not?
Okay. Sa vazina yenu atimandani?
This is the Konkanya from Northwestern.
Chakonkanya, Northwestern. Thank you, sir. I'll answer your question. Ba Chakonkanya, it's like this. Ngati muntu afuna kukwatira mkazi. If you want to marry a woman, or a woman wants to marry a man, you will see where they are coming from. Kwamene vachokera, what they have done, their characters, and so on. It is, of course, not a guarantee that a woman will be good or a man will be good. But at least you have done research. You know, kwamene chokera muntu, that person is able. Ndiye ife NAREP. Tioneni kwamene tichokera. Na ine Stephen Nyirenda, niwoneni kwamene nichokera. What I've done, what the way I've performed. And then you are able to tell. Now, I can go any further. Vamenesi nikonda ukamba. Mvakuti, in this case, I'm saying myself, if what I'm going to say, you people don't like it and so on, I forgive. They should forgive me. I want to sell myself. I am a person who has come from zero. I have never had rich parents. We were to begin with, we were 7. Now we are over 20 in the family, and we have never been rich. But it is my vision, my heart, my consistency with the people. Where I am today, I thank the people that I've worked with. I thank God, number one, and the people that are working with, the people that believe in things that I'm doing. I believe that now the people in NAREP, they believe what I discuss with them. I get ideas from them, they get ideas from me. Together we make it, and together we are going to make it. We are people who do consult. I was calling my friends just some time back, friends that have different ideas with me. I humbled myself. I said, please, I'm just a leader. I'm just a person. If people went against Jesus Christ, who am I? Just a little person somewhere. People will also come against me. I am waiting, but I humble myself to say I'm ready to discuss anything so that we can construct. I'm also ready to discuss with anybody who has got good ideas for this country to make sure that we are all together, we make it. It's not about me becoming a president. It's about having a team of people with different ideas, and together we make it to sort out the problems of this country. Good evening, sir. You are through to...
Good evening, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, thank you.
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, is that Unscripted Movie TV?
Yes, sir. It's an unscripted movie TV, sir. You are right.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Namema calling from
Itej, sir. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out on what is happening on our nice television station, Prime TV. We are missing it.
You see, you know, I talked about leadership before. Sir, from Itej, I talked about leadership before. If a leader does not do the right things, there is then chaos in a country. You start manipulating people. You start pointing fingers. You start now punishing people who are doing good things. You don't want to support your own people. You start supporting people from somewhere. And this is basically what happened to what happened to Muvi TV, what happened to Combon Radio, what happened to Iteji Radio, what has happened now to the Post newspaper, what has happened to Prime TV. Closed. You don't close an institution. You don't kill your child. You take your child and put them aside and show them. Ichi sichabwino sichabwino. Ngati wabwerezapo hivi, tizakuchita so. You don't kill them. If your children do wrong things, you don't kill. Good evening, sir. You are through to Unscripted. This is Muvi TV.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Kamanga calling from Kapiri.
Chamanga calling from?
Kapiri.
Kapiri.
Yes, sir.
Speak loud, please.
Structure here in Kapiri. We want to find out your structure here in Kapiri. Because we want that for life now.
Structures in Kapiri.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chamanga.
Kamanga, yes.
Yes, I've just noted your name. We have structures there. Our chairman there in Kapiri is going to come to you. We will be called and they will come to your place and discuss with you and perhaps we'll work together. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm not allowed to take any phone call anymore. I hope that they call me so I come and finish. This was just Dionko to explain. Then Nyirenda later on where we will tell you exactly what our manifesto is about. How we are going to make little things, big things, and medium things, small by small. How we are going to create energy that there's no problem in this country. How, in terms of energy, how we are going to make sure that we conserve water by creating dams all over this country. How we are going to make sure that the agriculture goes back to where it was and we earn money to pay our debt. How we are going to revamp the mines. How we are going to pay the debt. We are able to tell that in detail exactly how it will happen. Zambia is for Zambians. Only you Zambians who develop this. Anybody who tells you that he's come from China, he's come from Europe, he's come from Asia to come and help you develop this country, they are lying to you. Unfortunately, our leadership is listening to that and agreeing. There is only one person that is going to sweep your house. It is you yourself. Your neighbor is not going to come to your house, sweep it. He will not do it. Do it yourself. Zambians for Zambians again. I thank you so much. I'm so humbled. Please, this is your party, the party of freedom, the party of no fight, the party of no insult, the party that is going to lead Zambia to make sure that within 10 years, everybody, at least to more than 80%, we are happy in this country. Thank you and good night.